We begin with breaking news. Bexar County Sheriff deputies are investigating a homicide. This is at a luxury community, Anaqua Springs Ranch in Northwest Bexar County. It's near Highway 46 and 87 south of Burney. Deputies found a woman and two girls dead inside a home. Let's go straight out to Eyewitness News reporter Sue Kalberg, who is live with the latest on the investigation. Sue?
Let me just give you a little bit more information about exactly where we are. This major street that you see here is Toutant Beauregard, so a lot of people are familiar with that. It's a very major connector street out here in Northwest Bexar County. As you said, it's Anaqua Springs Ranch. Sheriff Javier Salazar, and we are outside the gate, so let me just show you an eyewitness view from Chopper 5. Chopper 5 is overhead of this exclusive neighborhood. Sheriff Javier Salazar described these homes here as multi-million-dollar homes in this gated community. So Chopper 5 is overhead now, and we can look at that. And dead inside this home, an adult woman and two teenage girls. He did a good job of explaining what they're looking into here. Let's listen to Sheriff Javier Salazar.
This morning, one of the residents, a male that had stayed outside the house last night, is the information we have. He came home this morning to find the other three residents deceased. It appears that all three are deceased due to gunshot wounds to the upper parts of their body. The three decedents are female. Two of them are pretty young, believed to be in their teens, and then the third is a woman believed to be in her 30s. Beyond that, we couldn't speculate as to cause of death at this point. It's just too early to tell.
So obviously the crime scene investigators are still here. The sheriff says that they're wearing protective suits as they process this complicated crime scene. He went on to say that he believes that the two younger victims are homicide victims, but it's too soon to say what the situation is with the older woman. He says there is a family relationship here. He said that the man who came home and said that he discovered the bodies is in a dating relationship with the older female. This is a developing situation. As we learn more, we'll share it with you on air and online at KENS5.com. Sue Kalberg,